Books presents an unabridged recording of Geek Love by Katherine Dunn, narrated by Christina Moore. This book is copyrighted 1983 by Katherine Dunn. This recording is copyrighted 1999 by Recorded Books. The author opens this book with the following quote from The Tempest by William Shakespeare. "This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine." And now, Geek Love.
Book 1. Midnight Gardener. Chapter 1. The Nuclear Family. His Talk. Her Teeth. "When your mama was the geek, my dreamlets," Papa would say, "she made the nipping off of noggins such a crystal mystery that the hens themselves yearned toward her, waltzing around her, hypnotized with longing. 'Spread your lips, sweet Lil,' they'd cluck, 'and show us your choppers.' This same Crystal Lil, our star-haired mama, sitting snug on the built-in sofa that was Artie's bed at night, would chuckle at the sewing in her lap and shake her head. "Don't piffle to the children, Al. Those hens ran like whiteheads." Nights on the road this would be, between shows and towns in some campground or pull-off, with the other vans and trucks and trailers of Banuski's Carnival Fabulon ranged up around us, safe in our portable village. After supper, sitting with full bellies in the lampglow, we Banuskis were supposed to read and study, but if it rained, the story mood would sneak up on Papa. The hiss and tick on the metal of our big living van distracted him from his papers. Rain on a show night was catastrophe. Rain on the road meant talk, which for Papa was pure pleasure. "It's a shame and a pity, Lil," he'd say, "that these offspring of yours should only know the slumming summer geeks from Yale." "Princeton, dear," Mama would correct him mildly. "Randall will be a sophomore this fall. I believe he's our first Princeton boy." We children would sense our story slipping away to trivia. Artie would nudge me, and I'd pipe up with, "Tell about the time when Mama was the geek," and Artie and Ellie and Iffy and Chick would all slide into line with me on the floor between Papa's chair and Mama. Mama would pretend to be fascinated by her sewing, and Papa would tweak his swooping mustache and vibrate his tangled eyebrows, pretending reluctance. "Well," he'd begin, "it was a long time ago." "Before we were born." "Before," he'd proclaim, waving an arm in his grandest ringmaster style. "Before I even dreamed you, my dreamlets." "I was still Lillian Hinchcliffe in those days," mused Mama. "And when your father spoke to me, which was seldom and reluctantly, he called me Miss." "Miss!" we would giggle. Papa would whisper to us loudly as though Mama couldn't hear. "Terrified! I was so smitten I'd stutter when I tried to talk to her. Miss, I'd say." We'd giggle helplessly at the idea of Papa, the great talker, so flummoxed. "I, of course, addressed your father as Mr. Banuski." "There I was," said Papa, hosing the old chicken blood and feathers out of the geek pit on the morning of July 3rd, and congratulating myself for having good geek posters, telling myself I was going to sell tickets by the bale, because the weekend of the 4th is the hottest time for geeks, and I had a fine, brawny geek that year. Enthusiastic about the work, he was. So I'm hosing away, feeling very comfortable and proud of myself, when up trips your mama, looking like angel food, and tells me my geek has done a flit in the night, folded his rags, as you might say, and hailed a taxi for the airport. He leaves a note claiming his pop is very sick, and he, the geek, must retire from the pit and take his fangs home to Philadelphia to run the family bank. "Brokerage, dear," corrects Mama. "And with your mama, Miss Hinchcliffe, standing there like 3 scoops of vanilla, I can't even cuss. What am I going to do? The geek posters are all over town." "It was during a war, darlings," explains Mama. "I forget which one, precisely. Your father had difficulty getting help at that time, or he never would have hired me. even to make costumes, as inexperienced as I was. So I'm standing there, fuddled from breathing Miss Hinchcliffe's midnight marzipan perfume and cross-eyed with figuring. I couldn't climb into the pit myself because I was doing 20 jobs already. I couldn't ask.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.